Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. I got some critical information I absolutely need to share with you guys today, okay? This is very, very important. When I first seen this story, my jaw almost hit the floor. Now, this video may go viral, so you need to probably get some of this stuff that I'm going to talk about before the video goes viral and before global supplies of this thing get depleted. There are natural sources if you're into bushcraft where you can get it. But yeah, anyways, we're going to talk about that in a minute. And something very ominous is going on with this article that I just read. And I also want to talk about some other things, guys. What's very concerning for me right now is that you have NATO armaments in Ukraine utilizing full spectrum NATO intelligence. And now you're starting to have NATO mercenaries being sent to Ukraine. So what do you think is going to happen when the Russian military starts engaging NATO mercenaries with NATO armaments who are utilizing NATO intelligence? Well, essentially you have World War III, okay? Most people don't understand the significance right now of the decoupling of the Russian economy from the petrodollar and what sort of implications that is going to have moving forward. We are in a whole different world, and a lot of people don't even realize it yet. People are just going on as business as usual. I appreciate all the concerns I'm getting from people who are saying, Nate, you need to take a break from this stuff, and I'm getting a little too close to the problem for comfort. I understand that. Unfortunately, it's intensifying at such a rapid rate that we need to stay vigilant now more than ever. As I've been saying for months, the price of gold is skyrocketing. It's probably inverted on the screen because I'm using my phone for this video, but we're almost at $2,000 and the price of precious metals is going to continue to go up. And if you look at what Russians right now are scrambling to get, they're scrambling to get jewelry, okay? They're scrambling to buy commodities which are going to preserve their value. A lot of people like jewelry over gold and silver coins because it's more gray, man. Some people will say, well, if you have gold and silver coins and you go and you try to barter with that, people are going to think you have a lot of money. Whereas if you just have jewelry and you break off a piece of a necklace or something like that, then it's a sign that maybe you don't have as much wealth. So something to think about is that in spite of the fact that everybody wants to have this, cyberpunk future with the cryptocurrencies and whatnot, and I'm a crypto guy too, don't get me wrong, the fact is we are still in an era in which, is defined by precious metals as being the base currency, and everybody's going to seek it, and the price of gold and silver are going to skyrocket alongside the price of oil. Now we're seeing military movements across Canada. Train full of military trucks spotted rolling through Toronto gives drivers a shock. Apparently they're going off to Wainwright, Alberta for a training exercise. However, this is something that you don't see too often in Canada, which is why it is so surprising. We're seeing a lot of military maneuvers like this. This is another one here. Military vehicles pass through Hamilton Brantford roads for routine driver training. Okay, I need you guys to remember that in the run-up to World War III, you're not going to be told what's going on. It's going to be everything is going fine right up until the last minute. I'm pretty sure even in the bunker of that one guy in Germany in 1945, I'm pretty sure they were telling people that things are all right up to the point where he took his own life. And this is what you need to understand, is that the information that you're getting, you cannot rely on. You need to go out and do your own independent research, because ultimately, in the fog of war, you are going to have to make a decision which is based on your observation of what is actually happening on the ground as opposed to what you are being told. And if all you're being told is positive news about how we're winning and blah, 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 then I would encourage you to approach that critically and think about it. Just think about it. Right now, the Russian strategy is to throw all the pawns, all the conscripts, all the old crappy, military equipment at the problem, and then they're going to come in with their more modern weapons, big guns and veterans, and get the job done. That's basically what's happening right now. But a lot of people don't want to admit that because they're starry-eyed. They'd rather delude themselves into thinking that everything is fine, and but unfortunately it's not fine, and you need to know that. Now there's also another military exercise taking place at former Toronto subway station, which is strange. I'm wondering what this is about. Why would the military be in the subway? Of course, this seems to map onto some other stories we're hearing from around the world where they are starting to revisit these old Cold War bunkers, stocking them up. So is this an exercise, part of an emergency measures campaign that they would deploy or employ when, if and when the unthinkable were to happen, to try to save as many people by bringing them down into the subterranean levels? I don't know. But that was my first gut feeling about this, is that's what it's about. We're going to talk about in the coming video where you could retreat to if you did find yourself in an urban environment and a bomb was to go off. Okay, so definitely very concerning things going on around the world. Now, this was probably the most concerning thing that I came across in the last week, and I need to share this with you. Now, this is translated by Google, so it's not the best English translation. It's from a Norwegian website, and I'll just read it to you, okay? So, request strengthened iodine preparedness in the municipalities. If you don't know, iodine, also going by the brand name Thyrosafe, potassium iodide. This is for the prevention of radiation into your thyroid. So it's for nuclear incidents, be it like a nuclear meltdown situation, or to protect you from nuclear fallout in the case of a nuclear war. Now, just listen to this. This is probably one of the most serious things I've read, and this pushed me over the edge into thinking that, holy cow, they really are preparing for this. The Norwegian Directorate of Health asks all municipalities to be prepared to distribute iodine tablets within 12 hours, especially to young children and young people. Especially for children, because if there was a nuclear exchange, the old people, they may develop cancer 10 years down the road, but the kids are going to be the ones who suffer most. We're going to do a more in-depth video on substitutes that you can use. Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy are going to be coming back for this, okay? So Jodix is recommended iodine tablet to have in the closet in case the unthinkable should happen. The Norwegian Directorate of Health has today asked Norwegian municipalities to review iodine preparedness for children under 18, pregnant or breastfeeding. Iodine tablets have since 2017 been recommended as a contingency measure in Norway. Approximately 2.2 million tablets are stored in the municipalities for this purpose. And remember, Scandinavian countries are big on prepping. In fact, one of the most popular prepping videos on YouTube is about Finland's preppers and how they're prepping for a Russian invasion. And we know that there was that close call with some Russian recon planes, apparently nuclear surveillance planes, or that was the theory anyways, that they were sussing out potential targets last week. So we know Scandinavia has a lot of preppers, and for good reason, and that's why a lot of them are on the fence with this whole NATO thing. Okay, so in addition, people under the age of 40 are recommended to buy iodine tablets at pharmacies as self-preparedness. Although no emissions from nuclear power plants in Ukraine have been reported, the risks of accidents and incidents is higher than normal due to the war in the country, says Assistant Health Director Espen Rostrup Nakstad. About the nuclear reactor thing in Ukraine, I'm just going to say, remember that we are hearing that side of the story. Let me ask you guys something. Do you really think that the Russians who want to inherit Ukraine as an asset as opposed to liability are going to be indiscriminately shelling nuclear power plants? I mean, these people have mastered nuclear technology. Do you really think they're dumb enough to start indiscriminately shelling nuclear power plants for no reason? Or do you think it's part of some sort of propaganda campaign from the other side to make it look as though that's what's happening? I mean, use your brain, okay? This is the thing. A lot of people can't even see what's really going on. Every piece of information that you receive, you need to be highly suspicious of, because like I said, and this is the biggest danger, one of the biggest things that preppers have to try to decipher is what is really going on. And our side is always going to say we're winning. Their side is always going to say they're winning. But the truth is probably neither of those things. It's probably somewhere in the middle. Therefore, the Directorate asks the municipalities to review their systems and ensure that iodine tablets can be distributed to the population at short notice. Millions of tablets are on their way to empty shelves, asking people to avoid hoarding. And remember, this is translated by Google, so it's not the best translation. So this is Europe's largest, okay, so they're talking about the nuclear plant, stuff like that. Now, there is an alternative because this stuff is sold out. You will not find isosat or potassium iodide tablets or Thyrosafe anywhere in North America anymore, for the foreseeable future anyways. What you can do, however, is you can get some iodine. And we're going to have Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy on the channel, but I do think that once this video does go viral, you will not be able to find it anymore shortly after this video, you know, gets some attention, because even if it doesn't go viral, if 100,000 people see it and they go and spread the word, stuff is going to be bought up within a matter of hours. In the Survival Medicine Handbook, they talk about alternatives. Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy are going to come on the channel and explain exactly what you should do in order to deal with radiation, because this is going to be one of the biggest problems that we encounter if the unthinkable does happen. We hope that this never happens. I hope that I can continue to make videos just hypothesizing about SHTF until I die. I hope it never ever happens, but we are closer than ever before to it actually happening. And a lot of these military mobilizations that we're seeing around the world with our own eyes are telling us that the governments of the world are preparing for this, and we need to be prepared for it. Okay, so if you go to page 170, I believe 174 of your Survival Medicine Handbook, I think it talks about radiation sickness and what you can do. So you don't actually need the tablets, guys. You just need iodine, I believe 2 to 4%. I'll post a link to where you can get it, scoop it up. I have no affiliation with the company. It'll be an affiliate link with Amazon, but I don't actually sell the stuff directly. And of course, you can go to Dr. Bones Nurse Amy's site for all your other medical supplies while they're in stock. And I want to say, I get a lot of questions from people asking about what sort of gas mask filter do you need for nuclear. All you need is a P3 100 filter, which is basically very similar to a HEPA filter. It doesn't contain any activated charcoal. It doesn't have any ability to block chemical attacks or anything like that. But this filter is good for smoke, not for the carbon monoxide, but for the smoke particles. It's good for tear gas. It's good for, what else is it good for? I think it's good for tear gas. It's good for biological threats, of course. Did I already say that? And of course, it's good for alpha beta particles from a nuclear fallout incident. Nothing is going to prevent you from gamma radiation. For that, you need to take cover, as we've talked about in this video, in this many series of videos that I've done on this topic before. But that's kind of good news for people, because these are more readily available. They're cheaper. It's all you need if you're just trying to prevent the ingestion of particles. This is such a tight filter, P3 100 protection. Nothing gets through this filter. Now, again, if you're going through a burning city and there's all these gases and toxins in the air, this is not going to filter out that stuff. For that, you need activated charcoal. And we do have some of those filters remaining, although they are also in short supply. We're completely sold out of the carbon monoxide filters that the Russians made, and we're never getting those again. I don't think we'll ever get them again, to be honest. So it's very unfortunate. It sounds so weird to say that, but so they have P3 filters. I think you can get 6 for around $150 or something like that. And you can also buy them as singles as well. So anyways, just something to be mindful of, that if you're worried that you can't get any iodine tablets, there is that alternative, and they explain exactly how to use it in this Survival Medicine Handbook. But don't worry if you don't have the book, and of course the book is like 4 months back ordered or something like that. They're going to come on the channel and explain exactly what you need to do with the iodine so that it can prevent the ingestion into your thyroid, which will cause various cancers down the road should the unthinkable happen, guys. So I hope it never comes to pass. I hope you guys are keeping well. Stay safe. Enjoy this time with your family. Enjoy everything we have right now. I remember at the end of that movie, Don't Look Up, where DiCaprio is saying, you know, we really did have it all, didn't we? And we do right now. We really do have it all. So enjoy it while it lasts. Thanks, guys. Take care. Canadian Prepper out.